where you'll enjoy 24-hour customer support and, of course, AT&T reliability.
So, for your free trial offer of AT&T WorldNet service, call now.
AT&T WorldNet service. We're making internet access easy for everyone.
Right now, the weather is changing. What's here today can be gone tomorrow. Because we know you need to plan and prepare, we dedicate a special team to forecasting the outlook for the days ahead. So you know what to expect. Watch our 5-day planner, 20 minutes after every hour on the Weather Channel. No place on Earth has better weather. This is your local forecast. Weather information you can plan on, only on the Weather Channel.
WeatherScope. Bitter cold temperatures with wind chills up to 40 and 50 degrees below zero leave the eastern half of the country shivering. And in the west, a new storm system is bringing the rain back to the northwest, along with a threat of flooding and mudslides. Those stories, plus in-depth forecasts and analysis on today's edition of WeatherScope.
The Pacific Northwest may be headed for trouble as a new storm system brings more rain to the region, which is still recovering from earlier rains and flooding. Good morning, I'm Vivian Brown. More on the Pacific Northwest in just a moment, but first we want to update you on the brutal cold that's gripping the eastern half of the country, and Bob Stokes has the details in the Forecast Center. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Vivian. That's a good word for it, brutal, because the wind chill values are 20, 30, 40 degrees below zero across much of the Midwest, and the coldest air mass of the season is hovering over the Northeast. And including Ohio, the wintry blast is covering much of the Midwest, and even as far south as Atlanta and Birmingham, they're feeling the effects of the cold. But speaking of Ohio, in the west central part of that state, bitterly cold temperatures yesterday made many people reluctant to go outside. And here's the reason why. Just take a look. This is Darke County, north of Dayton, near the Indiana line. Temperatures fell all through the day, and overnight, the wind chill was 40 degrees below zero. Today, the high will only be around 10 degrees, but of course, the wind chills will make it feel much colder. Speaking of temperatures, there's what it looks like across the country right now. You can see sub-zero readings across a large part of the upper Midwest. From about St. Louis northward, you can see temperatures below, not only below normal, but below zero. And in this area of red in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and much of the western part of Wisconsin and into the Dakotas, temperatures are in the minus teens and the minus 20s. And the cold air also over the Northeast, the coldest so far this season. We're in New York City. City, it feels like it's minus 18 degrees. In Boston, it feels like it's minus 19 right now with those winds coming in. And we have strong northwesterly winds across the Great Lakes. Motor City, Detroit, minus 35 is the wind chill. And in Green Bay, minus 37. That's what it feels like on your exposed skin. Let's take a look at some regions. You can see some other towns. Des Moines, minus 24 is what it feels like. Minus 33 in Chicago. All wind chills. And in Fargo, North Dakota, minus 44 degrees. How about the Northeast? Well, it's cold there too. The wind chill in Rochester is minus 38. And in Albany, New York, minus 23 degrees is the wind chill factor there. And in Philadelphia, minus 22. Officer Thomas Nicholson, he lives in Oswego, New York, and that's the area that received so much snow in recent days, and he joins us now on the phone. Good morning, Officer Nicholson.
Good morning again, Bob.
We were talking about roads last time. Could you give us an update?
About the same as earlier. We're getting wind chills in the 35 below range.
And schools, you said they are closed in your area?
They are, and extending through most of central New York right now, mainly due to the cold temperatures more than the snow.
Well, yes, Officer Thomas Nicholson, what advice would you give to pet owners?
Pet owners, keep them inside.
That's very good advice. And any general observations about the weather? Compare it to last winter or 5 winters ago?
No. It's a little different every year. Cold and snow is...
Cold in upstate New York.
Correct.
All right. Officer Thomas Nicholson, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Well, we have other maps to show you to illustrate what's going on with this Arctic blast and the snowfall. You can see what's happening. There's Oswego County in this general area, seeing the snowfall, and we have strong northwesterly winds coming in, and of course the lake effect snow scenario where the moisture is picked up by this cold air and then it is dumped in the form of snow, say right here between Buffalo and Erie, Pennsylvania. And we also had some snow bands really that were extending all the way to the Mohawk Valley of New York. There they are. There's one snow band extending all the way into the northwestern part of Connecticut, and a snow band off of Lake Erie which is extending down into the lower Hudson Valley, and so as well as the Catskills of Pennsylvania. So beware, New York Thruway travelers in western New York. Also in Muskegon as well as Benton Harbor, some snowfall coming down on the lee side of Lake Michigan, as well as the Traverse City area right here. Also, those northwesterly winds continue to blow on the lee side of Lake Superior as well in the UP of Michigan. As we check out what's happening in terms of the snowfall forecast, we could see another foot of snow right